Sorry, I got a phone call and got the broadcast interrupted. My bad. So let's see if we can get Mr. Edwards back on here. Just as soon as I get him watching, I can add him real quick. We were talking about internet sales tax. Do we really need to be worried about that? I mean, I think Joe Swaffer the other day kind of sold me on the what do you call it, fair tax, where you don't have anything but a sales tax, and it gets rid of all the rest of them. It's crazy. You got a property tax and an income tax, and where's all this money going anyways? Well, it's going to Arkansas Works in Arkansas. That's where most of it's going, and we got by just fine before Arkansas Works. So as soon as I get Steven on here and I can add him, we will have him. So give me just a second, and we'll keep talking about taxes. Yeah, it's a fun topic of discussion. I, you know, it's got to be talked about. It's just got to be talked about. Who else is going to talk about it? Who else but us? So, Steven, if you're out there, now that I'm on live, I can't really call him or send a message or anything, but hopefully he gets my psychic. Dang it, let me try harder. Come on. Usually that works, believe it or not. Come on. Where is he at? Yeah, I don't know if y'all notice when I'm doing these, sometimes I'm looking over like this. Got a few little gnats that are just bugging me, flying towards the window. So hopefully he notices I'm doing a live broadcast and comes back on. Otherwise, you're gonna have to just see me. So, how was 9/11? Yeah. It's always seemed fishy to me. I can't help but think about how weird the whole thing looked to me from the beginning. And how funny it was that, Bush was wanting to go to war right before that, and all of a sudden we got an excuse to go. Kind of got me on the conspiracy train for a while. And I've only really recovered from that recently. I say recovered lightly, it's been interesting. I definitely learned a lot. So here he is. Let's see if we can get him back so we can find out how he feels about the internet. Because inquiring minds want to know.
Hey,
Steven!
there you are.
Hey! Sorry about that. I got a phone call and we got interrupted. I
Those
apologize.
phone calls.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe I need to find a way to mute him or something because this happened
Yeah,
before the other day with Joe. But I was just asking you about internet sales tax, so I'm sure you're against it, right?
yeah. That's and you were asking some of the most pressing. I said Medicaid expansion, but internet sales tax is right up there with it. And that's the thing. If you're a Democrat and you're for increased tax, okay, that's fine. Be honest about it. And that's what we were talking about earlier about Republicans pretending to be, for limited government and cutting taxes, and I'm voting for the guy with the R beside his name because he's for
Right.
but it's a joke. No, I'm dead set against this, and they anyway. I get a little frustrated with that internet sales tax, but and it's coming too. It's coming unless a miracle happens and
Let's
get a lot of libertarians in there. It's coming.
Well, we're gonna get a lot of libertarians
I
in
hope
there.
so.
Let me tell you,
I hope.
because of these shows and because of all the hard work we're out there doing every day, talking to constituents. Hey, Joe Swafford, he might have convinced me on this fair tax thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you get rid of all the other get rid of all the other taxes, and all you have is a sales
Mm-hmm.
tax. What do you think about
Yeah,
that?
I've read and I've got the fair tax book. I don't know if it's the same one he was talking about, or Neil Bortz uh, co-wrote it. And yeah, I like the idea of going to a sales tax. But I think here lately, last few years, I'm thinking unless people just really get on board and rein government in, it'll it'll happen even with the fair tax, and where politicians will be trying to get more of a percentage of the sales, and so I think it has to come down to people just changing the way we vote. Get this mentality that if I'm voting for the guy with the R beside his name, that's for small government. It's not true.
Right.
And so we could get libertarians in there, and where the income tax, which that 16th Amendment of the Constitution was that's that's something that needs to be repealed as well. But
Oh yeah.
I've read the book. I like the book. I like Neil Boortz, the author. He's one of the guys that I listen to on the radio after being in my liberal classes all day long at Henderson, and it became my outlet. I'd listen to Neil Boortz. But
Yeah, he got brought up to me all the time when I was in Ohio. They love him in
yeah,
Ohio. I guess he's an Ohio native or
I have
something.
no
I don't
idea.
know.
I have no idea. But
Yeah, every other day somebody would bring up, how do you spell his last name? Neil Boortz?
with a Z, I think Boortz. I've got the book might be somewhere else, but Boortz, I think. Neil.
Well, have you been guaranteed a debate? Are you going to get any kind of
Yeah,
debate with your?
we've got a forum set up the 17th, which is what's today, Tuesday, so next Monday at the library, and
Oh,
so we'll have our little forum, and it won't last. I think it's going to last 45 minutes. It won't last long, but so we'll get out there and hash out our differences.
have you heard of Act 13 in Arkansas?
Act 13. Remind me.
Well, it was a bill sponsored by Ballinger in the House and Hutchison in the Senate. And what it did is it changed the rules on finance contracts in Arkansas, where it allowed whoever was writing the contract to insert a clause into the contract wherein the signer, basically by signing, writes gets rid of their right to a jury
Oh,
trial.
really?
So if you sign a contract, you have no right to a jury trial, and that's pre-dispute before there's any legal
Yeah.
dispute. And a lot of people don't even read these
Yeah.
contracts. And so that's the current statute in Arkansas. Now, if it actually went to court, it may be ruled
Yeah.
unconstitutional, but
Yeah.
how do you feel about something
Yeah.
like
I
that?
wouldn't feel good about that at all. No, I hadn't heard about that, and it doesn't surprise me.
I can send it. I can send it
I,
to you.
I
I actually had the guy contact me who it was originally about. He had some kind of dispute with Malvern National Bank. It went to the Supreme Court. They upheld his right to a jury
mhm.
trial, and then in response to that, the legislature passed Act 13
Yeah.
that, like I said, made it when you sign these finance contract, any kind of finance contract in
Yeah.
Arkansas, it gets rid of you have no right to a jury
Jeez.
trial after.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm not surprised.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Hmm.
It's crazy. The legislature is just really out of
Hmm.
control. I mean, is Justin Boyd involved with any of this corruption,
Oh,
you think, or is there no sign of
yeah,
that?
I not that I know of, and I'll say this. I've met Justin Boyd a few times. I think he's a good man. I think I think he's a good, honorable man. I know he's involved in the community. But you've read off some of the ways voted, with supporting the internet sales tax among other things, and that's why I'm running against him. But I would I'd be highly upset on a personal level if if he's found to be part of any of this corruption. I wouldn't. I would say no. He's not. But and like I said again, I think he's a good man. He's definitely involved in the community. But I'm running against him because of our difference in policy.
Absolutely, and I think you're gonna win.
Well, I appreciate that.
And
I hope so.
I'm gonna do whatever I can to help you. So let me write down the date for this forum. Did you say it's September 17th?
September 17th, next Monday at the Fort Smith Library.
Next Monday at the Fort Smith
Yeah,
Library.
yeah.
Hey, how do you feel about the casino amendment we're gonna
You
have on
know,
the ballot? Have you looked at that?
well, I'm gonna vote. I'm gonna vote no on that, and it's not because most of all libertarians you're for all the vices, but but you've got, I believe, what, four casinos coming in, and that's not a free market solution. I wish the state would say, hey, you know what, we're taking our hands off, and if a community wants a casino to come in, and it's a they want to come into a community, and they want to have a casino there, then good, that's on them. But I'm
Right.
just far as if we have these casinos come in, I'm starting to feel the same way about this whole medical marijuana situation that's going on. If we have those casinos come in, and then later on we vote to take the state's hand off of communities where they could just have casinos come in, those four casinos would be sending lobbyists to market against that, or to lobby against that. And
Right.
so I'm for true free markets, and this is picking winners and losers again, and so I'm gonna vote no on the casinos.
Well, I've actually submitted a recreational marijuana bill for
Mm-hmm.
consideration to the Attorney General. And I'm working with Whitfield Hyman on
Yep.
this, our other candidate up there. He helped me write it out. He actually wrote the thing, but
Yeah.
I told him I wanted to be in it because he knows legalese. I don't really know it.
Yeah.
And basically all it does is that and the reason I did it is because of my frustration with this program. It's just become crony capitalism
Mm-hmm.
at its
Yeah.
worst. I mean, you've got a situation where Bob Ballinger's actually getting donations from some of these people wanting
Yeah.
dispensaries.
Yeah.
And it's funny because his law partner is Travis Story,
Yeah.
and he's on the Medical Marijuana Commission, and they just so happen to get some of the
Yeah.
licenses. So it just kind of makes you wonder. And the details of my bill, it's really, we made it as simple as possible so they couldn't say no.
Mm-hmm.
We just put a 21 and older cap on
Mm-hmm.
it. We capped the taxes that could possibly be put on it at
Yeah.
30%. And we put a stipulation in there saying the money had to go to schools. Could be public, could be
Mm-hmm.
private, doesn't matter. And that's a way of keeping the politicians' grubby hands off
Right.
of it, hopefully.
Right.
Just based on what I told you think that's something you might be able to
Yeah.
support?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I definitely support something like that.
Well, we'll see what happens
Yeah.
because the Attorney General has been really like minimum wage and the casino thing. They had to take him to the Supreme
Yeah.
Court to get that stuff on
Yeah.
there. Um, so we'll see what happens. It's two
Yeah.
pages. I mean, how you can't get any more simple than
Right.
that. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. But hey, it's been fun. Is there anything I didn't cover that you want to tell the kids at home
No,
about?
just if you want to find out about my platform, go to StephenEdwards2018.com. That's Stephen with a PH, StephenEdwards2018.com. And I go into detail about, I think it's 8 different issues, and so you can get a better idea of where I stand on these issues. And God
Okay.
bless Arkansas.
God bless
That's
America.
right.
All right. Hey, we'll talk soon. If anybody has any questions, feel free to put them in the comments, and either me or Steven can answer them for you.
All right. I've got to go pick up
All
my
right.
boy
Have
right
a good
now,
one,
but
man.
thanks, Lee. I enjoyed it.
All right, buddy. Good
All
night.
right, see you.